Hi guys, it's Sierra. Welcome to Salem Wellness Portal. How are you guys doing today? I got my smoothie. I hope you have a smoothie or you're eating something healthy or something just that comforts you. And today, if you hear the noise, it's just my dehumidifier because it's getting hot down here, and it's getting that humid, so I have to like my closet doesn't have a air vent, which really sucks. So I have to like use the humidifier so mold and stuff doesn't, it's really like humid in there. So I have to put it on to like clear it out. Before I begin, okay, so today, actually, no, let me start here. Today, we're going to be discussing, we're not going to be discussing anything. Today, I am telling a story. And I am going to be telling a very sensitive story. I told this story to people before, but I think this is going to be a different way of me telling this story. So I have two kids. I have two boys. They are 9 and 8 right now. I love my babies. And I was in a previous relationship with their father, and and I take accountability for what I did in the relationship as well. But this story is about my domestic violence relationship. And last night, my older son called me. And if you don't know the backstory about me and my kids, right now, me and my kids are separated. I moved out of state in New York. I moved out of New York and I moved down south. And so if you know anything about moving away with your children, then you know that the other parent has to give the okay for them to leave. I thought I didn't know that at the time, because on my custody, and we had previously had a custody, I call it a custody battle. I don't like that. I don't like calling it a battle, but we had a custody incident back in 2023. It was settled. We figured it out, and the kids was living with me full time, and they would see him every other weekend. So up until moving, that's when he decides that, he doesn't want the kids to leave and he doesn't want the kids to move out of the state. So we are now back again in court trying to get this done. I've seen my kids. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen my kids as much as I wanted to, because this year, 2025, and this start of 2026 has not been the best time for me. And this video might be a little bit long, but we're gonna get it done. It has not been the best time for me. In a way, I hate, even though I had to be without my kids, in a way, I am very happy that I experienced this without them, because I needed 2020. I needed that time. So it's been like about a year and a half, about to be a year and a half, that I haven't really technically lived with my children. It has been also the hardest year, not being technically a mother in a way. It doesn't leave you, but it's definitely different. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's different. It's also been hard, but it's also been good. And having to even like I think about like, oh my God, when my kids are freaking like 15 and 20 and like when they're adults, like they're gonna like I don't want them to resent me for this, you know, for like, and I kind of didn't leave, but I'm trying to make our life better. So yeah, so basically we're in that. So let's start from the beginning, because this is about my domestic violence story. And the reason why I'm sharing this now is because last night, talking to my kids, I really noticed how much of, and I'm doing this because I want other women to know, like, it's hard, first of all, to leave because you're so codependent on this person. And in a way, they kind of make you codependent on them. He wasn't like that all the time, though. It wasn't like that. Like, I met him in high school. I met him in maybe my senior year in high school. I met him because that's when I met him when I was working at Domino's, and I was working in like one side of Queens, and then I happened to transfer to a different, so I can be closer to home and I could just walk there instead of like having to deal with the bus and having to deal with going all of this. So I met him in my senior year in high school in 2012. And you know, I'm young, dumb, like I'm not really like fucking like have the mind frame, and he's older, so I'm not really having the mind frame. I'm like, he got a car, like he's, you know, like he's cool, like, you know what I mean? So that's where it started. So maybe like 2014 things really started. I should have left in 2014, and I should have left then. I got pregnant. Had my first pregnancy in like 2013, 2014. And I chose to get I think I was already going through a miscarriage, but I chose to get an abortion. And I am very pro-abortion. So all of y'all who's not, you might not want to listen to this either. That was the one and only time I would ever get an abortion, though. I will say that I would never get an abortion ever again. And I mean, now I'm older, so I just can't see that happening. Unless I was to have a baby with like the wrong person, but that's not happening. So, God forbid. So yeah, and we were like in a year in when I got pregnant or something, like a year, maybe like a year and some change. And I'm in college. Like I had just started like college and trying to figure out myself. And I was thinking about what my mama gonna think. Oh, my mom didn't even know I had an abortion until I gave birth to my first son in 2015. But we're gonna get through all of that. So yeah. So everything was good in the beginning. It was fine. Leading to 2015, this was the first incident that he put his hands on me. Yeah. But like I said, I did stuff too to partake in that, but that does not give him a right to put his hands on me. That does not give a man a right to do anything disrespectful to you, even though you played a part in what happened, you know? Like I was like talking to other guys, and I was like, you know, I'm young. I'm like, it wasn't, I was serious about him, but I really wasn't. Like I said, I'm young, I'm dumb, and plus I'm getting attention from other guys, like, and I'm young, and like, you know what I mean? Like you're growing, like you're insecure, you don't know about, like, if I knew what I know now, I would have never done that. I would have left all of them, I want to say the N-word, I would have left all of them ninjas like right there and just kept on going by myself. But this is a part of my story, and this is a part of my life, and that's the reason also why I'm telling this story, because I want women to know, I want young women to hear this, like, because when your mama say don't chase after these boys, girl, you better not be chasing after these boys, okay? Because you do not need the trouble, like you really don't. And you don't want to end up I don't regret my children. I love my children, But co-parenting, it's literally, we don't even, like, he cannot co-parent with me. Like, it's just too, we gonna get into it. Let's get into it. Like, cause, and this is just gonna be like a storytelling video and just a chill video too. And the reason why I'm saying it now, I think, is because it's just time. Like, it's just time. Like, last night I was just sitting there laying after crying my eyes out, and I'm like, it's just time. It's time to tell this story. It's time for my truth to just come to the light. And so 2015 was the first time he ever did anything to me. Put his hands on me, physical, verbal. Like, we have verbally like kind of like argued and stuff like that, but this was the first time, like, right then and there. And it was October of 2015, and we were coming back. I had a baby that year in August, and my son was born. I had a premature labor. My son was born at 18 weeks. My baby, Caden, his name is Caden. He was born at 18 weeks. And he did not survive, unfortunately, because his heart wasn't fully developed, and he passed. Like, I had to give birth and everything. Like, he took, this part might make me cry. He took like one breath, and that was it. Like, whew. Oh my Lord. Like, I pray that through me and my husband, like, his spirit comes back in a way, because maybe his spirit wasn't meant to partake in that relationship that I had with him. And we were coming back from, so in New York, they have I was in bereavement groups. So after I gave birth, I started going to a bereavement group with other families and other women and like couples who also too either had miscarriages, who lost their children, and who, like, and they were older. I was 20, I think I was 21, 22 at the time. So a lot of them were older people, and this is also where my social work journey started. So I went, so they hold so October is infant loss month, and it represents for infants who were miscarried or who were lost through childbirth and stillbirth and things such as that. And I know this topic might be really sensitive for some people, and so I'm going to put a disclaimer too in the front, just to let people know, because it is very sensitive. And so we went. I actually so we were able to like instill bricks with our baby's names on them. So Caden has his own brick at the hospital. I actually, when I was in New York, I would go on his birthday, because he was born August 12th, 2015, and I would go on his birthday, and I would leave flowers, and I would leave like I would just leave little treats and stuff like on the brick, because that's the only thing I have literally left of him, because I was also in a bad space, like financially. So I couldn't pay. So my baby is buried, like, unfortunately, he's buried on Potter's Field, and they have like an infant loss burial on Potter's Field. And if you don't know what Potter's Field is where a lot of unwanted people and families and incarcerated. It's near Rikers Island in New York City, in Queens. And they bury people who die in prison or and don't have any family, or they bury people who are home. That's where people who don't have people who claim their bodies, they get buried there. And they also have a infant area, so that's where he is buried. So basically we went to this event, we honored our son, and on the way coming back, I was texting somebody in my class, because I was a medical student at this time. This is when I was like thinking I was going to become a nurse and become a medical student, because that's what my mom wanted from me. But yeah, no, didn't work out. And so we were on our way back, and I was in the passenger seat, and I don't know if he had grabbed my phone or what happened, but I just felt like I didn't need to show you my phone. And I'm not flirting with this guy. We're just talking about school stuff at this time. Like, he's just a cool guy. We just talked. We got to lunch and stuff like that. I'm a girl that I noticed that I hang around a lot of guys. That's one thing I noticed. And I think it's because I have very masculine energy. So being around men is a lot easier for me than it is for women sometimes. And so yeah, so it started in the car and on the way back, and basically, like, he grabbed my phone. It was just a lot going on, and that was the first incident. From literally from like one side of Queens all the way to like where I lived near the beach to the other side of Queens, we were fighting. And I finally, like, once we got to the other side, I'm like, bitch, get out this motherfucking car. This guy is gonna fucking kill you. And I called the police. Like, he grabbed my shirt, tore my whole shirt, like, tore open everything. And he grabbed my shirt, all of this stuff going on. And I called the police. The police come. Like, literally, I remember yelling in the street. Like, I screamed so loud for help in the street and called the police. And the police, even other people were calling the police as well while we were driving back to where I lived, because the police even asked me, did this start and like where the other side of Queens is? And I was like, yeah. How'd you know? He was like, yeah, because people have been calling about it. So I filed a police report. That was the first time it happened. Maybe like hours or a couple of, like, maybe a day later, I had called his mom. My God, do you want to know what his mom said? Like, his mom said, what did you do? What did you do for him to do that? Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, why do I have to do something for your son to act that way? And that's when I knew, and that's why I said I should have left a long time ago, because we're different ethnicities at that too. So his mom did not want, I don't know, it's weird because brown people, like brown Indian people, don't want they're brown, like they're oppressed too, but they don't want their children to be with black people. It's weird. But then her son likes black women. It's the weirdest shit. But then like, I'm telling you, people are racist. So anyway, and then your kids are black. So it's crazy. So basically that happened. That was the first incident. And then from there, a year later, my other son was born. My older son that I have now, Azariah. I will tell my birthing story. You know what I'll do a birthing story for you guys as well. And I'll tell my birthing story of both my kids. 2017 came. My other son was born 15 months after my older son. I don't remember really having, those years went quick. And plus I was a mom at that time. So he wasn't really around as much, and like he was working a lot. And I was home with the kids. 2017 is when I really went back to work. And like 2018, I went back to school, like to get let me pursue my degree in social work and things like that. So for those 2 years, I think they were good. Like, I don't really remember like chaotic, like at times, like with us, but we still, like, I know he didn't want, and I hate to say this on camera because I don't want my son to see this one day and think that, like, I want him to know that his father loves him, but he didn't want a second kid. But I was not having an abortion. I just could not do it again. Like, I told myself I was not having an abortion, and he's my little one is my miracle baby, because with my older son, who is my kid, he's kind of the middle kid, but he's my older son, like Azariah. I had to get a cerclage. I couldn't, because of my premature labors, I had to like get surgery done for him to stay in my uterus and not have premature labor. And then 15 months later, Amir came, and Amir, I didn't have to do any of that. My body completely healed. So he is like, that's my miracle baby right there. Like, they both miracle babies, but my body did something, healed itself. Like, God is like that. He's meant to be here. And I already see it in him. Like, he's gonna, like, you know what I mean? You just know when your children are like meant to be here. I have to finish up that smoothie. I'm like, let me finish it before it gets like soggy. So yeah. So he's my miracle baby, point blank period. When we moved in together, so I kind of, in a way, it was kind of mean of me, and I'm just telling my truth. Like, I don't know. And it's also nice telling your truth at the same time. It feels good telling your truth, but in a way, like, I knew I should have never moved in with him, but I wanted to get out of my fucking parents' house. Like, if y'all know my family, if y'all know the backstory of my family, like, it's not that I don't hate them, but it's just, it's not a family. It's not the family that I ever wanted. No. And I rather have lived with my kids in this area, because he wasn't home a lot anyway. Like, so it kind of felt like I had my own place to myself, and he would just be out all day working, in the night working or whatever. And so, oh my God, I'm really getting into it today. I'm getting into it. And so basically I was like, okay, I'm going to move in with him. So I moved in with him like maybe I don't know if it was 2019 or 2018. I think Amir was going on like 2, I think. So like 1.5. So I think it was 2018, like close to 2019, like maybe like the end of 2018 or something. And then 2019 just had hit. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm gonna move in with him. Like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I had just got a job with the city, with New York City. So I'm like, you know what, bitch? Like, I'm just telling myself, like, do this, get your own place, get your money up, like, save up all your money, save up all your coins. Cause when you're ready, you could get an affordable housing, and you can leave, like, I could get out of here with the boys. And so that was always my plan. And I'm sorry to say it, but like, I knew I did not want to stay with him. I knew I did not want to stay with him. And I knew that sometimes it, unfortunately, and I'm not telling people to use people, but you got to do what you got to do to survive. So I basically was like, okay, like, I'm gonna I'll do with this, take care of my kids. And that's what I was there for. I was literally taking care of my kids. Let me tell you, when I never thought that I would live with somebody like that, first of all, because he did not do anything. Like, I cooked, I cleaned. He would sit on the couch while I cleaned the whole fucking house and just watch me. And just watch me. Like, I had to tell him, like, he's a man child. I had to tell him to do stuff. And then I finally, like, at some point I was like, yo, you gotta help me. Like, I'm in school, I'm taking care of the kids, like, I'm working full time, like, all of these things. Like, I got so to the point where I was unhappy. And this is also where my spiritual journey started, because I got to a point where I was so, I would never forget, like, I cried to him one day, I cried to him, telling him how, like, sad and depressed I am. Like, I'm not doing well. Like, because I like, my spirit, I didn't even know I was going through a spiritual awakening at the time, but I was so depressed. Like, I was so depressed, so bad. And one of old friend of mine, like, I would talk to her about it, and she would tell me, because you're dependent on him. You can't be codependent on him. And shout out to Angelica. Like, we don't talk, but she's actually one of the people that inspired me to leave, because I don't know, like, before we had stopped talking, she had told me something, and I don't know, that July came, or that a year later came, and I left. I haven't gone back since. But anyway, like, so that happened, and I had to like literally show him how to do laundry, show him how to like cook, like, well, he never cooked. Show him like just how to like take care of the, like help me take care of the house and take care of the kids. And I would like take them to the park, take them to the, I was doing everything with them because after work, and then the pandemic hit. So all I had to do was really go into the office like 2 days a week. And then at some point we wasn't going in the office at no point. And I was just getting paid to just enjoy life during that time. So I would take my kids out and we would go out and, you know, we would just enjoy our time. So I spent a lot of time with them. And then it really got 20, like COVID time, like a little bit after COVID, and then it started to suppress. It really got bad. Like, I was ready to like be, the relationship was done a long time ago before it actually ended. It was over. Like, and it was about me and my kids. Like, that's all I fucking cared about at that time. It was just me and my kids. And he would wake me up in the middle of my sleep, like pulling on my braids, asking me to look at my phone, like, yo, this guy, he put a fucking tracker on my car. He put a tracker on my car, like trying to like find me. He showed up one night. I went out with my girlfriends. He showed up one night. I was like, it was so freaking crazy. Like, he showed up at the club or whatever one night. When I tell you I was terrified to go home, terrified. My kids were spending the night at like my sister's friend's house because we were all close. Not me and my sister, but my sister and her friend. My sister's friends, they loved my kids. Like, so she would want to babysit them and stuff. And you know, and I was still a young mom at the time, so I really didn't have like a 20s life because I had kids in my 20s, you know. So she would watch them for me and be like, yeah, go out, enjoy, like, and they were good. Like, she was safe and they were safe. Like, I love that. Like, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for that. Even with my sister, one of my sisters, I can't lie, she held it down for me. She helped me out a lot. So shout out to her, even though, yeah, we got our own little thing going on. But yeah, it just got bad. Like, he would punch me, like, he locked me out so many times. Like, I would never forget, I went to work one day and I usually work for the voting polls. So I'm like a poll worker. So, but not that type of poll worker. And I would work with the voting because I was like, it's always good to make some extra money. And like the older ladies at my job, they would tell me like, girl, do it. Like, I started at your age and like now they take the week off. They get a week off just to do working at a poll, just doing literally nothing. I would like literally nothing. Not nothing, but like, you know, just chilling, like getting paid to chill a little bit. And he locked me out on election day, November, I think of 2020. It was like 2021, right after, like the first, like right when we had to first vote after that, because that was the voting year. And I banged on the door. Like, he would watch me from the Ring camera, because we had a Ring camera. He would watch me from the Ring camera and just like, or through the peephole, he would like, yo, when I tell you I slept in my car, like I would tell he told my son not to open up the door for me. Like, I went through hell with this man, like hell. Like, and when I say evil, like I would never forget, he cut my finger in the middle of my finger, like one day trying to fight with me. It was just so much violence, it was just so much. And I didn't want my kids to keep watching that. And I knew, like, my kids knew what was going on because Amir is very sensitive. He does not like anything loud. He does not like anything loud. He doesn't like yelling, like, even though he's loud. He does not like yelling. He does not like arguments, and he doesn't like fighting. And he would break us up because it was just always something going on. And in 2021 of July, with the whole GPS thing, like, I think maybe like 4 days before I left, I had went out with my friend. We went out to Brooklyn. We had a good time, like, and we went out, we enjoyed our time. And then that was the same night that he showed up. I went out with my other friend after to get, like, we went out. I was like, let's go to the lounge or whatever. We went out dancing and stuff. And he showed up. It was like so embarrassing, but thank God, like, it wasn't too much going on. But it was just so embarrassing at the same time. And yeah, like, I think it was probably like maybe 2-3 days after that incident, we got into it, and something told me, Sierra, you're gonna die here. Like, literally, he hit me with a hockey stick. I had a black, oh my God, I tell you, I had a black eye, like, whew. And he hit me with a hockey stick. It was just so much violence. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And after that, like, I just left, and it wasn't the best thing, because my mom also did not want me to go. Actually, first I think I went to a shelter first. I went to a shelter like literally maybe like a month before COVID, like COVID actually became, like, they shut everything down in March. If I had stayed just 1 month in there, I would have had my own apartment, because they was giving women apartments because of COVID. They were I would have got a voucher. I would have been able to get my apartment if I had just held on. But I went back. And if you know anything about domestic violence, women usually the victim usually, she doesn't leave on the first try. She doesn't leave on the second. She doesn't leave on the third. She doesn't leave on the fourth. She doesn't leave on the fifth. She doesn't leave on the 6th. She leaves sometimes. Most statistics show that most women, it takes them 7 times to leave. And some women, they still don't. So just imagine being in a domestic violence relationship, right? We know about human trafficking, right? We know about women, men pimping women. That is, and I'm not trying to diminish people who have been trafficking or who have been trafficked or anything like that, but that's kind of the type of relationship you are in when you're in a domestic violence relationship. That person, you are that person's property. And when I tell you, this man, he would tell me, he knew I wasn't going nowhere. I would leave, and he knew I wasn't going anywhere. He knew I would be back. Every time I had left, he knew I would be back. He knew I wasn't, he just knew. And that's something that's what pimps know. Like, you ain't got nowhere to go. Where you gonna go? You know what I mean? So that's kind of the relationship that I was in. It got to a point where I stopped having like sexual intercourse with him, and he would, oh my God, let me tell you guys, like, not revenge porn, but if I needed help with the kids, do you want to know what he told me? He was like, he asked me to send him pictures of me to get help for my kids. Like, and I think the last time this had happened was like in maybe 2021, like literally a little bit after I left, because now at this point he's not helping. He only helped me twice from 2021, from the time that I left in July 2021 to 2026. He only helped me twice. He only gave me cash twice. Only. The only time. After a certain, I don't know, like, I'm telling you, yo, God really showed up for me, like, because I wasn't supposed to survive that. God showed up for me like, what? Like when I say like, I was in school, I was able to get like work study to like help me pay for like things for me and my kids. That held me down. My son, like he was able to get some help. Like when I say God held, like God was watching over me, that man was watching over me. Like, because I did not know. I was able to pay my car note. I was able to still be able to pay, like get food for my kids. Like I was able, like, even though I was in a place and in an environment that I really didn't want to be, because I didn't want to go back to my mom. And I also, and my mom didn't want me there. They did not want me there because of my past. Because I wasn't your typical child. Like, you know, like I was more defensive. I defended myself a lot. I'm very different from everybody else. I was picked on. I was the one, like I was the scapegoat. So everything that happened, it was always my fault. And I bet you they're still blaming me for shit that's happening in their life, even though I am not there. Like I can bet you $100 freaking dollars that they blame me for stuff that is still happening in their life that I don't even have part taken. And I did not want to, but I didn't want to go into a shelter. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want that for my kids. I did not want that. And especially I did not want that while I was in school and stuff like that. So I tried my best to figure things out. And I was like working on getting a voucher, getting housing, getting all of these things. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just do this. I'm in school. I got this. I'm going somewhere. Like, you know, somebody's going to see that I'm going somewhere. Like that I'm just not this girl that's trying to use the system, or, you know, I'm making my way. I'm making sure that I'm showing up for me, my kids. And it didn't go that way. It did not go that way. And when I tell you, man, like it's so many nights, so many days of waking up out of my sleep, being hit on, it was like literally one day we had a huge fight because we literally broke the bed and everything because of he was fighting me. He threw all my shit out, throwing me. And remind you, I'm cooking, cleaning. I'm the mother of your child. I'm making sure food, like the kids are good. I make sure that the kids are in bed, this, that, and I'm doing everything I can do. And I'm still paying half. And I'm paying half the rent. Like, when I tell you, and then it's like you come home at 3:00 in the morning and somebody's like trying to tell you, like waking you up when you got to be up in like 3 hours, and somebody's telling you like, let me see your phone, who you've been talking to. I saw this, all of these crazy things. Like it gets to a point where you're like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? And I don't know, like, I would never forget the day, July 21st, 2021, I left. And I think he thought I was going to come back. And you know what's so crazy? Let me tell you guys. My family and him plotted together so I can go back. Because let me show you a little something. Let me show you something. Truth is always going to come out. And I don't speak a lot about things. People don't even, I play stupid. I play so stupid. I'm speaking about it because it's done. This I can speak about because this shit is done. It's over. And it got to a point where literally he and my family conspired together to like make me go back to a relationship. I would never forget my mom, because at this point I think I was still like, I wasn't the woman that I had become at this time. And now I'm a whole different woman altogether too, because I was a different woman before this. And my mom had told me, like, she was like, Sierra, like, and that's how I knew my mom looked at me, and she didn't see like a pretty girl. She didn't see like a girl that is going to make it. She didn't see a girl that, you know, is going to become somebody. My mom saw me like nothing. And this is how I knew she did. How I knew this is because she told me, she said, Sierra, you know, it's not a lot of men out here. You know, you should go, like, she literally told me, you should be with him. It's not a lot of men out here. I said, why would you want your daughter to be with somebody who is abusive? Why would you want your daughter to be with somebody who manipulates, who locks her out, who treats her like shit? My mom told me that, and that's how I knew she didn't see worth in me. She didn't see worth in me. She didn't even see me as, I don't even know, like, I can't imagine telling my daughter that. I can't imagine, who says that to their child? And she said that to me, and that's how I knew, like, oh shit, my mom really thinks that, like, she doesn't see me as worthy. She doesn't see me as goddess. She doesn't see me how I see myself. She sees me as, like, you know, well, you're overweight, you know, you're dark skinned, you're this, you're that, you're, you know, she didn't see the good, the beautiful parts of me. She didn't see that. And she wanted me to go back. Everyone tried to make me go back. Even my sister, one of my other sisters, she's a twin to my other sister. And she would tell me, nobody wants you here. Like when I tell you, I've, like, the shit that I've been through, maybe this is not just a domestic violence. Well, it is domestic violence, because even from my family, I got, that's domestic violence as well. You know, my sister fighting with me for no apparent reason. Like, I would never, like, when I tell y'all the fighting, like, that has happened in my life, the horror, the pain, like, that type of, when you're in that for a long time, and I was in that for a long time, you start to believe, and it got to that point where I started to believe that I was unworthy, that, oh, I would never meet a guy that is, like, you know, like the type of guy that I've always wanted, like, you know what I mean? And they made me think that, and they made me feel like that. And thank God for God, because if it wasn't for him to tell me, like, that's not who you are, those are their insecurities that they rubbed on me, because they were mad because I was in my light. I was shining. They were mad when I lost over 100 pounds in 2023. From 2020 to 2023, I lost over 100 pounds. When I tell you, these people treated me so different, like, OMG, like, it was like, my light irritated their demons even more. It got really bad. And it was just so much. I stopped talking to everybody. I shut everybody out. That's what I needed to. I just shut everybody out. I stopped talking to everybody. I just stopped. It was just me and my kids, and that's what my focus was on. Me and my kids in school. And that's where my focus was on the whole time. For the last 3 years, my focus has been on that. Well, no. From the time that this all occurred to now. And yeah, it's just been crazy. Like, and if you're in a domestic violence relationship, and if you're experiencing this, and not just in adulthood, but even as a teen, teens go through this, you know, they start controlling you, controlling your money, controlling all of these different things. And, like, it's hard. to leave because, and you know what's so funny is, as a social worker now, working with younger people, working with older people, when I'm in therapy sessions with people and when I'm listening to them tell me about their life and they're telling me about their stories and, you know, why they're coming here, and a lot of people say like, but we've been together for so long, but it's been so long, I can't, we've been together for a year. Like, let me tell you something. You can be with somebody for a year and they can't puncture the type of energy out of you than a person who you've been with for 3 days. I've met people in my life in a day that has been more of a mother to me than my mother. I met men who have been more of a father to me than my father, my stepfather. I have met guys who I talked to, we chilled, had like cool, like tell me, Sierra, you are not too much. You're cool. Like literally, like I would never forget, like just chilling in a room with a bunch of guys and I'm just sitting there, we chatting, and I think after that we went out to eat. We went out to eat and everything at Olive Garden and just chilling. And I was telling them like, I don't know, guys think just, they I don't know, like, and because people always wanted to know, why you're so beautiful, you're so this, you're so that, why are you single, And I couldn't understand either. And I just said, I don't know, like, I don't know, I just don't know. And I would tell them like what the guys told me, because a lot of guys told me like, oh, you're too much, like you ask for too much, you're too this, you're too that. So I started to kind of like dim myself in a way because of that. And I told the guys, and they was like, no, like, because I would be myself around them and they would be like, no, you're not too much, like, yo, you're cool, like you're a cool ass chick. Like if you see me today, like I'm such a cool ass bitch. Like I'm such a cool bitch, like, you know, like I don't, like that's how I am, but that's how I've always been. And it's so crazy to me how other people who I've spent less time with in the world has showed up for me more than the people who have showed up, who I have been with my whole entire life. And I felt more love in a day from people than I've ever felt in a lifetime. And it's so crazy, and I'm really blessed for it, because I really appreciate God doing that, because that just shows me that it's just, they're not my people. Like they're just not my people. And it's crazy to say, but sometimes your family is not your people. Sometimes the people that you're around is not your people, because after a while, once I started like, okay, once I finally knew what I was in, like, okay, Sierra, you're on a healing journey. You are the black sheep. You are the one, like, you're the girl you're different. And I had to learn to accept that I am different. So I accepted. You have to just accept it at some point. Like, I'm different. Fuck this shit. Like, you don't get me. That's not my problem. That's your problem. Other people get me. There's other people in this world that understands. Like people who show up on here, people who show up in my life that I could be so authentic with, people who I, like that, you know what I mean? My relationships, everything that is other people. And it comes to a point where it's just, how can I say, like, I lost my train of thought, but it comes to a point where you really just gotta accept that you're different. You are meant to be different. You are meant to ride a wave that other people can't ride. And you keep surfing it out. But if you are in a domestic violence relationship, I want to tell you to get out. I do. And you should get out, and you should keep trying. Keep trying to leave. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a day when you're going to say to yourself, I ain't coming back. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. And that was for me about, 5 years ago now? It's about to be 5 years in July. That was the day for me. I knew I was going to die there. I knew, and it might not even have been literally died, but my spirit was dying. And I think one thing, and you probably heard this before, but when they say when a woman is tired, change happens. When you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to go anymore, you don't want to do it anymore, that's when change comes for women. When a woman says she is tired, you know, oh, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen in her life. She about to make a move because she's tired. And when a woman is tired, things are going to be moved. And that was it for me. I didn't want to die there. I knew I wanted more. I wanted more. I knew that I didn't have to deal with it. And I chose myself. And you know, people don't even notice that they love themselves. Every time you make a decision for yourself, that's love. That is you loving yourself. And it was a part of me in these years that did not love me because I always felt like I was a problem. I grew up being if you could stamp it on my forehead, the problem. Because that's how I grew up. I grew up feeling that my voice was a problem, that me being me was a problem, me just emanating who I was a problem. My mom kind of taught me that I had to hide. I couldn't be my whole self. I couldn't reveal completely who I was. And imagine what that does to somebody. What does that do to a kid? When a kid is not able to be themselves, you get angry. You go through things, you know? So if you are experiencing this and keep trying to leave, get yourself set up, find help. I did have support. I had friends at the time that, you know, even they were like, and she even told me, like, one of my long friends, we're not friends anymore, but she was a really long time friend. And she even told me, like, Sierra, like, come to my house, like, we can figure this out and stuff like that. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to intrude in her space and then we lose our friendship. And at the time, but it was just like, all I had was my friends at the time who would support me and who knew going out and getting out that place was the way that I learned how to survive it. So keep trying, find support, find people, they have domestic, I never went, but I did want to go to a domestic violence group, talk to other women, talk to other people who are going through it, share your story with others, and accept help. Because you don't know people are helping you throughout your day and you don't even know it. The person who you said good morning to this morning helped you smile. The person that you smiled at today, you helped them enjoy just a little bit more of their day. You don't really know that you leave an impact on people, but you do. And you know, that's what I want to tell like women who are in domestic violence. Because honestly, I don't even know, like, I thought it would have such more of an impact on my life now than it did before. But also, I never really got a chance to really work. I went to therapy. I was going to therapy. I was in therapy from 2020 to I really wouldn't say I finished therapy, but I haven't been able to really go, like maybe 2025. I just literally stopped going to therapy. And I don't recommend stopping. I think people should always continue to go to therapy. It's just so happened that, yeah, my life had a uproar and things changed. But I would definitely recommend like finding somebody that you could talk to, finding someone that who can be there for you through your hard time, because it's not easy. You're alone, especially if you have kids in the relationship. Sometimes you don't want to leave because of the kids, but that wasn't the case for me. Like, I knew that this was not going to be I knew I did not want to be in this relationship. Like, that's why I said the relationship ended a long time before it actually ended. I left in 2021, but the relationship ended in 2019 when I was planning to planning my life to like say like, you know, like, all right, I'm gonna do this until me and the kids get set up and then I'm out of here. And I didn't want to look back. And now it freaking kind of sucks because like, I wish we can co-parent. I wish we could co-parent. I wish we could, you know, do it. I wish he would, you know, just, I don't know. Men who are like this, men who he wants control, like, because he can't control me anymore. And when a person can't control you anymore, like, and when he sees like, oh shit, she ain't coming back. Like, I don't even know, has it hit? And I still wonder sometimes, like, does he think I'm coming back? Does, like, you know, you wonder once in a while. That's normal human things. But like, you really like you could really see like, okay, this bitch ain't coming back. Like, you know, and to know that, it feels good. The first year was hard. The first one was hard, but then God showed up, man. What I tell you, July, August, September, October, 3 months after that, God showed up for me. Things started getting a lot better, honestly. Like, I don't know how and looking back, I really don't know how it all happened. I just remember becoming more independent. I just became more independent. But I'm also happy for this because I went from, I've always been independent, always, but I let a relationship take over my independence instead of balancing the two. I let it to take over and became so dependent, and unlearning that and becoming independent again, and get like seeing that, oh shit, Sierra, you can do this on your own. You don't need him. You don't need him. He didn't make you. I would never forget, he told me, I made you. Sweetie, I made me. Like, I made me. You did not have a piece of work on this statue. I made me. And I think also, I'm saying this because this is how you get your power back too. You take your power back. Those demons, you take their power back from them. They don't deserve it. And you keep telling your story. Tell your story. I tell people all of that all the time. Tell your story, because your story is where I'm telling you, God gave it to you. Everything that I'm going through is a testimony, is a story. You know, it's to help another person get out of what they're going through, because we need people who look like us to go through experiences that we are going through so we can get through them. I didn't have any other domestic violence women in my life that I knew of. I was the only one that I knew of that was experiencing this. And, you know, like, and it's so funny because when I tell people this story, they say how strong I was and how strong, like, you can look at people and see who's strong, who got it, who, you can look at them and see their strength. And even, it's so funny because I had a white lady the other day. She says, "You're a Black woman. You're strong." She was like, "You're educated. You're Black. Like, Black women know how to do things." And she told me that she was a manager of the spa. And I went there, and she told me that, and I was like, "Oh, she woke," because a lot of white women won't say that to you. That's the second white person in my life to tell me that, how strong I am as a Black woman. And she doesn't even know. She just looked at me and she told me that. And she told me, like, "You're gonna get it. Like, you are, like, you learn fast, like this, that, and the third." Like, she was just telling me. And I appreciated her for that, because some people, they can see it, but some people they can't. And some people, they won't even acknowledge you for it. But being strong, but sometimes I don't want to be strong. Like, I don't want to be strong all the time. And it's like, the strong friends, people don't show up for the strong friends. People, because they're so strong all the time. They're the ones, even when their life is like in chaos and going on, they won't even show you that it is, and sometimes it's hard being the strong friend too. So I don't want to be strong all the time, but this experience, when you reflect and when you go back on, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping around, I jump around a lot, and I probably shouldn't have waited an hour to like say all of that, like to say that I'm jumping around a lot. But when you have been through so much and you keep going, you don't let it take away your personality. You don't let it take away your goodness. You don't let it turn you miserable. You don't let it diminish you. That's strength. That's resilience. And one thing, if you are a Black woman watching me, listening to this, I want you to know that is who we are. It's in our blood. From our ancestors, from slaves, from slavery time. We were made to be resilient. That is why we are the most powerful creatures on earth. No other woman, and I'm sorry, no white, no Asian, no other will ever compare to a Black woman. I'm sorry. And they can try to be like us as much as they want. Even when they call themselves queens, like, no, you're not the real true queen. Black women are true queens. And if you are a Black woman, you are made for this. You are made. So whatever you're going through right now, if you are in a relationship that is experiencing this, and you keep trying to go, you find a solution. If you got kids and you're going through this, you make sure that you look out for those babies. Because at the end of the day, their mother is the most important thing, no matter what happens. If I can tell you how much is going on, like how many things is going wrong and going on at this time in my life. Like when I say I've been through every single thing like you can think of possibly in this world so far, like that I did not think I would ever experience in my life. But there is a way out, and I made it out. And I probably left like about 7-8 times before I actually left for good. And shout out to the people who, like, oh my God, my professor, she knew about like what I was going, like, and I would come into, like, I was so bubbly, like you would never think that I experienced that. Like you would never think that I experienced that, man. But I don't have to experience it anymore. I get to choose differently. I get to choose light and peace and consistency, not chaos and arguing. And when you are, and that's I think that's what I wanted to say before, it's when you are born into a family that fights, argues, and every family is gonna argue and have that, but literally when you are fighting for your life, like you are in like a boxing ring most of the time in a household where it should never be like that, that's usually what you're going to continue to be, because that's what familiars you. That's what you think is love. That's what you think is. So I had to unlearn all of that. I had to unlearn that, oh, my family like people cursing each other out, that's not normal. Like people punching people in the I would never forget my brother. Oh my god, like my brother, I was on the computer. I think I was probably like, I had to be younger than 15. I don't know, because I remember it being like those big white computers, like those early 2000 computers. I had to be like maybe younger than 15. And my brother, he took a Timberland boot, and I was in the basement on the computer. I used to go down there and play Barbie games and dress up the Barbie dolls. And I remember he took, I don't know, I said something or what happened. I don't know what happened, but he took the Timberland boot, and I will never forget, he slammed that boot into the back of my neck. I would never forget that. Like, you don't come, like, who does that? I didn't even do anything. I think I had said something because and I just cried, like, and my mom, like, I don't even know, did I tell my mom? Like, I don't even know if I told my mom or what, but like growing up, I felt like I was like the target. Like I was like the target, and then they wanted to know why I was so defensive, but like, you guys blame me for all of your shit. Like, you know, it's just crazy to me. And I'm the oldest girl. Like, I was blamed for everyone else's misery, everyone else's sadness, everyone else's problems, when I had nothing to do with them. And I went into, I'm my first, like, I mean, I dated before him. I was dating a girl. I dated a girl for like 3 years before I met him. So he's technically like my first, and this is my first boyfriend. Like, you know, like I wasn't dating guys before him. I dated girls before him. And my first love is a girl. Like, my first love was a girl. And then he came in, and you don't see it in the beginning. Like, you don't see it in the beginning, but things just happen. And like I said, I had played a part in some of this too. I was not perfect in the relationship. I never ever went first to do anything physical because I don't like that. Like, I honestly don't. And I had already changed myself at this time. Like, in high school, I was like a little bit more like angry and like, you know, but it was also from pressure that I was getting at home, and nobody saw that. So, and this is why also too I became a social worker, because all I had to talk to about these stuff was the social worker. Like, I would go to school and I would go to counseling. Like, I had counseling every week, and we would sit and we would just talk about all of the stuff, and she would teach me about the world, because I've never like wanted to stay in. I went to high school in like Manhattan. Like, I was a city girl. Like, you know, like I was in the city every single day. Like, I was like Carrie on Sex in the City. Like, that was me. And that's also where like my whole social work career started as well, because I was hanging out with a bunch of social workers who just helped me through a lot of fucked up shit that was going on in my life. And yeah. And So this is where patterns and this is where patterns show up in our lives through our relationships. And this is where familiarity shows up, repeating cycles show up, because I went from my family, a group of people who is emanating this type of energy, right? Then, okay, I'm going out into the world. I'm growing up. I wasn't taught. I learned everything I know, I learned on my own. Everything I've known, every single thing I know about the world, I've learned on my own. And thank God that I was so open-minded to learn everything that I now know. And I'm still learning more things. So you go from your family, then, okay, you have your first relationship. Okay, it's going well. Then you start to see some things, like when you really reflect, because 2020 hindsight, right? You don't really see it until I don't see a lot of things until I reflect on them, right? But what this is now teaching me, this new me, right? The woman that I have integrated into me is teaching me is present time. So I went from family to my first relationship, seeing some patterns there, but not really knowing that I'm experiencing a pattern. And then my second relationship, and I was in that relationship for more than maybe about 10 years. Right? We're in a 10-year relationship. So I'm also seeing that, okay, this person shows me is unavailable, a man child. I have to take care, I don't want to fix anybody. I don't want to raise you. Your mom didn't raise you, and I'm not your mother to raise you. I don't want to do that. No, I'm not showing anyone how to love me. Right? So another relationship, and then there's some other people that trickled on in between there and stuff, guys that I was just doing things with and things like that. But anyway, same patterns. Now come to me, who I am today, let's say, right? This last past year. Okay, I cannot continue these patterns. I cannot. It has to stop. What do I need to do in the moment to make sure that I'm stopping them? Because I can't wait until after an incident happens, then to reflect on what happened, to say that, oh, I made a mistake again. I have to do it in the present time. Everything is in present time now. So that's the way I'm moving through my life now. In present time. I'm not gonna wait until I do something or something happens to say, fuck, let me reflect on this lesson. What did this show me? No. Reflect always. But I am choosing to, okay, how is this, slow down, number one. How is this making me feel? Is this showing me anything from my childhood? What is it showing me from my childhood? What is this, and it can be anything, it could be most of the time it's relationships. And the reason why is because people are always going to be a part of our life. We are humans and we attract people attract us. We attract people and people attract to us. So now, starting over, you could very slow. And also in a way, you'll also meet people who are moving like you're moving, slow pace, they're adjusting. And then, you keep hanging out, like you see that you get loosen up a little bit more. Okay, like they're a little crazy like me too. So you know what? Yeah, okay, you're a little crazy like me too. Okay, I can lose. Because the more you become yourself, the more the other person becomes themselves, the more you both become yourself. But then it's like, oh shoot, you feel safer every time. So, and that's what I'm learning. And literally I'm learning this through a group of friends right now that I have in my life. And I'm learning through them, and it's been nice learning through them because I'm staying present in the moment, and I'm seeing that this is how relationships grow. Okay, you do one consistent thing, and then you do one consistent thing, they do one consistent thing, and it goes back and forth, back consistency, right? You're in flow. It's reciprocity. It's consistency and reciprocity. You give, they give. You show up for them, they show up for you. It's a flow. So you're seeing that, and it's like, okay, like, so you don't have to later on in the next 5 months, you don't have to, wow, like, what did I do? Did I mess up? But you're in it right now because you're taking it slow with each other. You're moving with the ebbs and the flow, right? So that's really my take on, a little framework for you, if that helps. I don't know. But that's a little bit of my story so far. I have a lot more, which is coming. But that's a little bit of my story. And honestly, like, the best thing I could have done was leave that day. That was the best thing. Even though things didn't turn around right away. Nope, it's so funny because I actually ended up dating. No, I wouldn't even say I dated, like a situationship. I had a situationship for like a year, like after that, and it just didn't work. He was another pattern, like emotionally unavailable, emotionally withdrawn. Like listen, I was working on myself, so I was becoming more authentic in myself. He told me, like, you're too much, and I would never forget, like, he told me I'm too much. I'm like, bitch, I'm not fucking too much. You just ain't my speed, bitch. Like, what Kodak Black say? Like, Kodak Black, he says it. He says, like, maybe you ain't the one for me, baby. You ain't got shit I need, bitch. You want me to take my time with you? Maybe I'm not your speed, bitch. Like, get the fuck up out of here. Like, I gave you a whole fucking year to figure out your shit. And then you want to tell me, like, oh, no, it's okay. We're done. Bye. Like, I was not going to keep wasting my time. Hell no. I gave you a year. Like, I was cool for a year. Like, where is this going? If it's not going nowhere, then bitch, I gotta go. Like, I gotta get on the bus, like, and go. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. And after that, I've been abstinence ever since. I'm going on 4 years abstinence. So proud of myself. Like, feel so clean. Like, I feel so like, and not like, I'm literally like, I feel like a whole fucking virgin again. Like, I feel like a whole nother Virgin Mary, like, you know. And it's so funny because it's been times when I woke up, like, I don't even know if it's like a woman thing, maybe it's during my menstrual or whatever, but I would feel like trickles, like tingles in my belly, like thinking I'm freaking pregnant. I'm like, bitch, you ain't getting no action out here. And I'm so proud of myself. Like, you know, I don't say celibate because celibate means that you like forever will refrain from having sexual intercourse. I say abstinence. And I've been abstinence since 2022. 4 freaking years it's about to be, and I'm proud of myself. Like, I am really that girl. Like, it's girls out here that says they are, and I'm really that girl. And like, after that, like, after him, I was like, nope, I'm not doing that again. And if they didn't come correct, or if I felt like I was going back into another cycle, I let them go. I cut them off. Another guy after that, I think it was another guy, and he was great. He's a great guy, but he showed me I don't like that avoidant stuff. Don't come over here with that avoidant stuff. No. And I don't even let people in my energy like that anymore, because it's just like, you got to show me consistency. You got to show me something. And in a year, if you're still keeping up with that, or two, then we can talk about something else. But other than that, like, no. Like, when you start to see the signs, like men who are avoidant, that they avoid conflict, they avoid communication, they avoid, like, if you bring up like certain topics and they avoid it, like, they're not ready. You're not ready, sweetie. Like, you're not ready. You go get ready. When you're ready, call me. By then I'll probably be taken, but you can still shoot your shot, but I'll probably be gone. But you know what I mean? Like, you just have to really start analyzing patterns. You have to start seeing, and not even just them, yourself. I started to see my pattern because I self-sabotaged one time. I don't know how the hell it happened, honestly. Like, I am still shocked that it happened, because that's not who I am. Like I said, I'm the girl, I'm so freaking like down to earth, cool bitch, like, like, and I self-sabotage, and I noticed that, and I said, okay, we gotta fix that. We gotta put that in the nub. So I've been working on that, and, just working on myself and looking at patterns that I am repeating as well. Because yes, the person can choose you, but do you really want to choose this person? Ask yourself, do I really want to choose this person? Please, like, people are popping out babies, like, and honestly, it don't matter how much money you have in the world. You have to deal with this person for the rest of your life, in a way, because this person has to show up at graduations. They're going to have to show up at weddings. They're going to have to show up at baby showers. They're going to have to show up at birthday parties. They're going to have to show up at family reunions. And because your kids is a part of both of your life. So that's also too what I've noticed, is that, okay, I've only had kids with one guy, thank God, but you got to make sure you choose the right person. But the way that you can choose better for yourself, and I'm telling you this from a person who has experienced hardship before she has awakened. Please, 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 the one advice I would give you to everyone out there is work on yourself before you jump into a relationship. That's the one thing, especially, like, that's the one thing I wish, like I said, I should have left a long time ago, and from there just stayed on my own. And just stayed on my own, because I would have probably been in a better frame with learning me, knowing me, loving me, being self-aware of me, rather than kind of like being in somebody else's energy. It would have been better if I had did that. But like I said, this is a part of my story. This is a part of my journey. But I am just giving advice to other women who are experiencing this. It's probably younger women, older women, it doesn't matter, because it really doesn't matter, honestly, because it's all about where you are in your lifespan. So Erickson, he is a theorist, and he created the lifespan theory. And basically it's age groups, but it's also, what do you do when you get to these age groups? So even though a person is 40 years old, they can still be in a teenager's lifespan. Even though they are 40 years old, they can still act like a teenager. They can still run around like a teenager. They can still portray that teenager, right? Even though somebody is 40 years old, excuse me, even though somebody is 20 years old, they can have a lifespan of a mature 40-year-old. And I have seen it. I've met one person in my life, one person who was younger than everyone else that was around me. He's about 10 years younger than me. I never met the most mature man I've ever met in my life. Like literally, like I wanted to marry this man because that's how mature he is. Like when I tell you, give you feedback, when I tell you that can calmly calmly just like communicate, like, yo, I've never met a man like that in my life. So literally, I wanted to marry this man. I wanted to marry him so much. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I wanted to marry him because of the way he moved. I ain't never see a man move like that. And a man communicate and be willing to be a man about it. That's an awakened man right there. Okay, let me tell you, that's an awakened person right there. One time in my life. And it's only been, I've never met, I mean, there's women out there too, but I've never met a woman yet. I haven't met them yet. But anyway, that is my story, and I do have to go now. It's been an hour and 25 minutes. But if you have watched this whole video, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming out and watching my videos and showing support. That's what I wanted to say. I couldn't find the word. Thank you for all your support. Thank you guys for being here, and if you need help with any domestic violence issues, relationship issues, I'm pretty great at my job. I'm pretty great at my job. And if you do need help, you can always email me. My email is in my description, I think, or my email should be in the link in my bio on YouTube. You can always email me and I can help you the best way I know how from lived experience. And I know there's women out there who needs it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.